And that's the loose tooth. Aren't you glad you get to hear this over and over? You'll know that story inside out.
Is it one that's in the...
Yeah, it is. Come on. It looks like it's gonna go. There we go.
As students learn more about reading, they begin to notice their errors and fix them or self-correct their reading. When they begin to exhibit this behavior, we record it with a capital SC recorded above the word because
Just worry
again,
about a C.
self-correction was
Again,
initiated
cut
by
off
the
that
child.
extra letter.
Everything the reader
Correction.
says or does is recorded above the word. Sometimes self-corrections happen right after the error has been made. For example, teeth or tooth, self-corrected right away. Or took for tooth, self-corrected. Sometimes a self-correction happens as a result of rereading. When this happens, record the rereading as before, going back to where the rereading began. When we get to the word the child self-corrected, we draw a line downward to indicate that the self-correction occurred on the repetition and not before. For example, "Don't play with your teeth," said Kate's mom. "Don't play with your tooth," said Kate's mom. The arrow down represents the self-correction happening on the reread.
And that makes a difference in how we
Sometimes a
analyze.
student rereads and self-corrects some, but not all of the errors. For example, "Don't play with your teeth," said her mom. "Don't play with your tooth," said her mom.
Okay, I'll tell you
There are
something else
also times when children reread.
Something else they frequently do is correct the mistake they made, but make a new mistake. So that's another thing that can happen, and just drives you nuts. You're rooting for the kid the whole time, and then you're like, no, don't make another mistake. They do,
And
sometimes.
self-correct some errors, but also make new ones. Perhaps they focus so much on the error that they are correcting that they don't realize that they've made another one. For example, "I want my teeth to come out," said Kate, might be reread as, "I want my tooth to fall out," said Kate. So using another pre-printed recording form for the loose tooth, begin recording on page 2 and continue through page 7 as you listen to the text. Kate had a loose tooth. Her tooth was very little. Lost. Loose. Kate played with her teeth, tooth, but it did not fall out. But it did not come out. Don't play with your tooth, said Kate's mom. Eat your breakfast. I want my tooth to fall out, said Kate. Your tooth will fall out, said Mom. Kate wiggled her tooth. Kate wiggled her tooth, but it did not fall out. Kate brushed her teeth after breakfast. She wanted her tooth to come out. She wanted it to come out now. She brushed and brushed. She brushed her little loose tooth, but it did not fall out. She brushed and brushed. She brushed her loose tooth, but it did not fall out. So let's see how you did on your recording of self-corrections. You'll notice that most, but not all errors were corrected. And can you see the difference between those errors that were self-corrected right away and those that were self-corrected as a result of a rereading? Look for the little mark coming down from the line that represents the rereading. Sometimes you have to wiggle the rereading line around, especially if it goes back several lines. If self-corrections occur on the rereading, you will have to wiggle your line so that it shows the self-correcting occurred on the reread.
I don't know how.
Can we see that again?